Howdy y'all, Patrick Neiman of Rickley's Aquatics. Today we are going to go through fish room number 2 and some of my home personal tanks like this Beta Trio 15-gallon tank. Cape Venture video, and they are actively breeding right now, so that's awesome. This 330-gallon Frontosa tank. My 300-gallon pond with a 60 breeder upside down in my living room. If at any point you enjoy these fish, the video, me, or anything you see that's going on and you want to see more, feel free to hit that follow, subscribe button. Don't pay for any subscriptions. I will always post everything for free. There's never going to be anything where you have to pay to see specialty content. I've got you, no worries. This one's been shown a lot lately, so I will go through it fairly quickly. They are due for a water change this weekend. The tannins are finally starting to go out. I don't want to get too close to this tank. They are a little skittish. They are coming forward finally, but if I go right up to the glass, he will dart right back. There's another holding female in there now, so there was 2 that came in holding, and now there's a 3rd one since they got put back together. So there's a lot of babies going around. I won't be surprised to see any of them pop up around these rock piles. The filtering system's definitely not as strong as I would like. I've got it at 2,500 gallons per hour right now. And so I'm thinking about doing up to 3,500, somewhere in there. And I'm pretty sure it's got the flow rate for it, so we're gonna give it a try. When in doubt, we get wet. But yeah, we'll keep updating this as we go. I don't want to spend too long on this tank. If you haven't seen it, there's 2 males, 4 female wild caught MOBA Frontosas. There's the 2 albinos, and then the feather fins usually don't scare too bad. So I'll get up close. There's 3 of these giant feather fins in there. Oh, he's not doing too bad with me right now. It took him a while to warm up. So they're hiding back inside there. Close up on the albino pleco. And then he's got a big old cave back there you can get to. The tank's 30 inches deep, 30 inches tall, 8 foot long, so it's a nice big tank for them. Need to figure out how to get the clarity a little bit better on it, but we'll get there. I'll keep working with it. The fish aren't struggling. They're not showing any signs of fin rot. Nobody's gasping. So as long as the fish are healthy, we're good. We'll work on the rest as we go. And yeah, I didn't really cycle this tank too. There was a cycle, but it wasn't a strong cycle, so I'm still trying to feed light. But also, like, that pleca that came in right there was pretty anorexic. It had sunken belly a little bit. And then these guys were put in holding tanks. There's one of the holding females. These guys were put in holding tanks while I moved the tank for a week and a half, and I only could feed them a couple pellets a day. So they really thinned out really quick in there. You can see this tank has some scratches on the outside. I'm not entirely sure how to get rid of it other than trying to get the right angle all the time so you don't see it, but I'm not upset with it. It is a lot better than any of the other tanks that I have. It's the biggest tank that I have besides the pond right now, and I really like it. It's calm, it's chill. These fish aren't that small. They're looking for pellets. They're expecting me to feed them right now. If that guy would come forward, he's a good 16 inches. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too long on it. I will get to another tank. Over here I've got a 90-gallon. I just brought in a OB Maury male and a breeding group for him. And then there's the red base snook. The green terror pecked his eyes out, and then I put him in here as soon as I saw it, and he eats fine, so he does well. There's also a sailfin pleco. The light doesn't really stay on here much, and it's probably the lowest maintenance tank of them all. It still gets its weekly water changes, but I'm not really doing glass hardly ever. But I think they're afraid of Snooky a little bit. But as long as, like, Snooky can't see them, so they're not just going to get swallowed. Even though Snooky could swallow them, they'd have to be damn lucky to actually get all the way through them without getting back out, because yeah, it takes them a second to get pellets. But I make sure there's enough in there. There's a sailfin pleco that cleans up just in case. He's pretty big. He's in the volcano right now. It's a volcano I made out of egg crate, spray foam, and lava rocks. Yeah. This tank used to have like a pirate theme or a Halloween theme to it, so it has some stickers and some glass stuff, and I keep trying, every time it comes up to the surface, I try to move it up and over so he doesn't have to, because he can't see, he just stays on the bottom all the time and scoots along, so I'm trying to give him a softer bottom every chance I can. In the bathroom on the countertop, I've got this 15-gallon, one of my Fishscape tanks. I've just got a Y split stick coming forward and a couple big rocks. It's got 2 female betas. As you can see, they do just fine. Nobody's nipped up. And then there's a long fin male. They've been coexisting for the last 6 months together just fine. Nobody gets hurt ever. There's no food aggression. A little bit of flaring, but it's pretty minimal. Just saying hello. A little bit of controversy on this tank, but all the extra plants make it worthwhile. You can see the other beta didn't want to deal with it, so she's all the way back there. This one's just putting up with it for a little bit, but she'll swim off if she really wants to. There's some tiger lotus, Anubias, and some other plants in there. See, he just swam off. His fins are so long, it looks like he's been nipping at them. His tail used to be as long as his draggers on the bottom. Probably trying to be faster to catch up with them, but the tank's so heavily planted and whatnot that it's hard for them to get after each other from end to end, and there's so many sight breaks they can break up from each other, and it just works. It's a dirted tank with sand cap. The Tiger Lotus was doing better at one point when it was all the way at the surface. I trimmed it back because it took over and I couldn't, it was killing itself off, so I was going to do it anyway and just I stunted it. But I'm going to end up taking some plants out of this to put inside the corner tank build that I'm going to end up doing here in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. I'll show it in a second. Said corner tank with Pinky in it. Currently right now they're down in the corner breeding. I haven't cleaned this tank at all because I want a good before and after for the video of it and rescape of it. Could definitely use some work. Kind of just trying to let them go. I don't want to get too close to this tank right now. Do what I can. So yeah, he's got a bunch of babies living with him. There's some babies in the fish room from him. And quite a few of my peacocks have came from him, I believe. I think he's been breeding quite a bit with these OB ladies, and that's where most of the peacocks came from for a little bit. There was an albino turkis to something for a little bit there too, which is the smaller batch right now, but the bigger batch came from him, which is where Little Red and Blue came from. I believe is him mixing with this OB or one of the other OBs that was with him, because he's the last of the remaining of my original peacock group before that tank crash happened and I lost them all. Thankfully I had him and her in a separate tank and a few other females in a separate tank for a bit at that time, so when the air pump went out in there and the tanks crashed and I wasn't home for a couple days, they weren't affected, which was nice because I've had him for like a solid 3 years now. Hoping to see a lot more babies out of him. This is the one I'm referring to as Blue. Forgive me for the tank, it's an old acrylic tank and he is blindingly white. But he's in here with some ladies, and so I'm trying to line breed to keep more of that blue coloration going. And I believe he's an offspring of Pinky, and that the females in here are daughters of Pinky. So I might give Pinky some of these females to cross back with. Also in here are 2 male F2 star sapphires, that one, and the other one's over here. And then there's a host of females in here hiding around for them. 2 tinfoil barbs growing out for the pond. 2 regular bichers. And there's 2 albino bichers. Yeah, blue's looking really good. And there's a Bali shark. Also in here are 2 Brookline Royals, but I don't think I'm going to find them right now. I've got some plants up top that I'm saving, some Valsinaria for the tank rebuild in the corner. Yeah, certain angles on this tank look good, but others don't. It's just old, scratched. I could probably polish it out, but yeah, haven't done that, obviously. One of the tinfoils is albino, which is awesome. I don't know how many actual albinos I have. I've got goldens, but I don't think I actually got an albino. Found it at my local fish store, which don't really go to very often, but when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta take those tinfoils home. Yeah, so this is an F2 to regular, so it'd be F3 star sapphires I'm working on. And then I'm trying to make more blue with the golden base behind it. They have the white knight, and the white knight doesn't have the orange background or orange fins, so I'm trying to create my own line. So if I can make more of him and make a replical and replical and replical, then I have my own line of sellable peacocks that I can claim as my own and nobody else's. I just have to make sure I can keep it going and keep it replicating, because I really like how bright he is in person. It's just a beautiful baby blue, and the star's a nice deep blue. It's not too far off from the camera, but when blue is in front of the camera he blinds it too much, and he definitely looks a lot more white on camera and washes out. Whereas that star is showing a lot more true to what I'm seeing in person and I'm seeing on screen right now. Oh, catch him in the right light, I tell you what. And now we pause for a word from our sponsor. Anything to say, Hazel? What's up? You want tuna fish, don't you? I know you do. Good girl. Show me your kitties! This is my 300-gallon pond in my living room. I'm running 2 waterfall boxes, 2 canisters, and a single 4,000 gallon per hour pump. I still have to go around and finish the decking around the outside. The media there is supposed to be in those boxes, but it all floated out, so we are still working on that. In this pond, I've got tinfoil barbs, I've got vieja, I've got big old sharky, one big old Mineratus, bala sharks, pictus cats. Jack Dempsey's growing out. I've got a little vieja growing out. There's some Texans of all sorts in here. And yeah, I really like this tank. My friend Scott made up this window for them, and then I did the filter boxes around the outside. and I just made some studs up. I still have to go around and style and finish it, but I wanted to get the perimeter up and the waterfall boxes on so that way it was nice and filtered. That's Bob, the archer fish. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool Texans and Viejas in here, some big Viejas. Got some big plecos in here, like a chocolate pleco. Got a big rhino, a couple commons in here. All sorts. So here we're going underneath water to the pond. Right in front, we've got a nice Vieja with a chocolate pleco behind it. Big old green tear coming up to show off for the camera. Bob in the back, looking around, surveying. Marble Viejas charging up to the Venstress. Some Texans underneath the stick. You'll notice that in the back that there's a lot more cichlids than the front. The front is a lot more tinfoil barbs. And they do well. The different sizes do well in this tank. I think the space helps out. The little ones can get away when they want to. There's a big old common pleco right there, one of them. There's another one in the background. There's two chocolate plecos and one rhino pleco. JD coming up to show off. And we're going to go in through the waterfall here. And as you can see on the front side, all the tinfoil barbs like to crowd the front window. And that just seems to be their turf. And when I try to take videos of it, a lot of the time people see all the tinfoils in the window and think the tank's overcrowded. You can see all the bala sharks real well here. Sorry about the camera going in and out. I'm using my phone underwater and sometimes it zooms on its own. And a lot of the times the cichlids don't come too far forward. The small ones will intermix with the tinfoils, but the big ones don't intermix with the tinfoils. And I think the tinfoils stay forward because the cichlids have claimed the backside. As you look in, you can only see through to the tinfoils and whatnot. But then you can see they're all up here right now. But they've got this whole backside that only Bob is in right now. And if you look through the upside down, this is the halfway point of the tank. They're all crammed in that front half. It's not my fault they're not using the back half. Back into Fishroom 2 now, and we're going to go through these tanks real quick. There's 12 of them with fish in it, or 11 I think right now. And we'll be quick about it. It's starting to get late at night and I want to get to editing this video before bed so that way I can get it out by morning for you guys. So make sure if you're liking this, you like, comment, subscribe. I don't know why they want me to have you guys share, but please share everything, whatever it be, and help me keep growing. That'd be awesome because I'd love to keep expanding. There's a lot more tanks that I haven't gotten to yet, so there's a lot more expansion to happen, and with more growth we can keep growing and growing and growing, and this can keep becoming a thing. So yeah, thanks for the help, guys. So coming in, that's just our RO reserve tank that I use to speed fill if I have to. And this was one of my original upside downs. I don't have it full all the way because it's starting to pull apart back here, which you can see with the algae growing through there. The silicone's letting loose. So I need to put a center brace on this tank. In here I've got some F1 Frontosas that came with the Frontosa tank. They were babies inside there. Below that I've got Pinky's babies going on right now. This is where I'm going to collect them up for grow out. Probably bring some more over to bring in. Next to them I've got the red Dovey pair, which they're hiding really good right now. I'm going to be able to get too good of shots. They're doing fine with each other. They obviously need a bigger tank and they'll probably breed better. Above them, I've got an electric blue Akara breeding pair and then one extra. They keep having babies. There were wigglers yesterday. There's probably still wigglers with how they're acting. So that's hopeful. I'm going to move them over into that corner tank when I rebuild that. Above them, I've got a Cuban pair. They keep trying to lay and they're duking it out for a second here. I'm gonna have to watch them because I just lost my black nasty male because they were fighting. So yeah, that's gonna have to be heavily monitored. I'll check on them in the morning. Over here, you can see just barely the tail. It's another Cuban, so I'm not gonna bother dragging it out. Over here, I've got a black nasty next to it. It might actually be a male, and maybe that's why I lost that male that I knew was in there. So that might be my problem. Is I had, yeah, all right. Just figuring that out now. Below that, we've got P. Its name came in as Peach. I've had a Peach, and I don't want to reuse the name, so we're gonna name it P. And it's got a black nasty female, which is probably going to end up here now instead of down here. Although I kind of want to try this out for a little bit. See if I can get P to breed with the black nasty female for a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. Below is just a bristlenose pleco. There's nobody there. I'm using this for Pinky's tank. Across over here, I've got F1 Frontosa fry that came out of them after they got here. This didn't come out of the tank as I was moving it. They were holding females and they let loose while they were here. There's also VC10s in here growing out, some haps. They were the same size, so I put them together until they start having issues, and then I'll separate them out. And last but not least, we've got my big boy Tango. Look at him. So we're working on getting him in here into his show tank and all pretty like. He's a lot darker now with the dark background. He's starting to lose most of his white. And I'm hoping in a couple days to have a lot more of the orange coming up. And yeah, he's doing extremely well in here. He's a big fishy. Got to keep playing with him and whatnot and get him ready for competition. And got to figure out how I'm going to clean this tank because now that he's in it, it's not pristine anymore. And I really want the most pristine of a tank as I can get. It's bad enough I got a blue line up top and some blue sticking out the bottom. I can at least try to figure out how to surgically clean the tank first. Thanks to all for watching. That's a walkthrough for Fishroom 2 and the home of tanks that I've got going on. If you liked it, like, share, subscribe, free subscribe. We only do the free systems here. Everything I know, I'll pass on willingly. So yeah. Tango's going to go out for competition here in the next couple of days, and he's not going out, but we're going to see how well he does. We're going to see how beautiful he does in competition. I'm real excited. He's a big, beautiful fishy. Thanks, everyone. Bye.